This video is brought to you by WeatherTech. Let's check out some of the really cool made in the USA truck accessories. First up, the alloy cover, which is this super beefy fold-up tonneau. Next up, and my personal favorite, the tech liner. Not only is it super durable, but it is tailored to your truck, so it forms along your bed sides. And check this out, the bump step. Not only is this a great place to help get you into the bed of your pickup, but it's designed to help protect your bumper in the event of an accident, and it's got this little built-in crumple zone. Check out the link below for all the latest and greatest in pickup truck, accessory, and SUV gear.
This is a special news episode of TFL Truck because a lot of things happened this week and most of it was not good.
Yeah, it's been a bad week for a lot of truck manufacturers, especially Rivian had a really bad week this week, and we're going into exactly what happened because it's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, and we're going to mention several other manufacturers, including Lordstown, Ford, General Motors, and Ram.
Now let's start with Rivian because that was the manufacturer that really made headlines. What's going on?
Here's what happened. On March 1st, this week, which was on Tuesday, they announced a price increase on their vehicles. And they did it in a very peculiar way because they basically said across the board, starting on March 1st, the R1T pickup truck is increasing in price. $12,000 for a base launch edition model. Base pricing, $12,000 increase, which was approximately 15%. And R1S prices went up in a similar fashion by about 20% for reservation holders.
Now this is a really big deal, right? Because people had put down money to hold their spot in line. And Rivian had announced pricing, which had remained the same for quite a long time. Is that correct, Andre?
Totally.
And then this week, they sent out an email saying the price has gone up 15%, which is not inconsiderable when you consider that these are expensive trucks to begin with. So we saw increases well over $10,000 on the R1T.
In fact, some of the reservation holders like Benjamin emailed us and their price went up by about $15,000 for their truck, from about $85,000 to over $100,000. And that was due to some of the options and accessories also increasing in price. And we can mention it a little bit later. But let's rewind just a little bit because Rivian announced these prices almost 4 years ago, right? The starting price was about $67,500 for the base quad motor truck. And we've tested it recently. And it's actually did really, really well as far as acceleration testing that we did, the drag race, we did an iGauntlet, we did range testing with it. It's a high quality truck and I couldn't believe the price.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic vehicle from our initial impressions. There's really not a whole lot I didn't like about it. But if you were one of the folks like who had an early reservation, right? You've been waiting for, in some cases, several years. And then all of a sudden, as we get near and near and near to the date finally happening, you're building excitement, and then you get an email saying actually your truck's going to be over $10,000 more expensive. Well, that resulted in a lot of backlash.
Yeah, a lot of backlash, and we have some reports on this here at TFLtruck.com. And some of the owners like Benjamin or reservation holders, they were adjusting their order. So a lot of people said they would cancel their orders. Right? Some people just felt angered by this. People like Benjamin were trying to remove some accessories to control the price, bring it back down. And then Rivian also said during this moment that in 2024 they'll offer dual motor, two motor, not quad motor system with a smaller battery to bring the price back down.
Okay.
But this is still 2 years away.
Right.
And then what happened 2 days later on Thursday?
Well, first of all, thank you to everybody who sent us an email. We did get quite the outpouring of emails, primarily from upset Rivian reservation holders. But then something pretty crazy happened.
Yes. On Thursday, March 3rd, the CEO of the company, RJ Scaringe, sent a letter once again to all the reservation holders. And we have a copy of that letter here because it was public. And basically, he's taking it back. He said that, first of all, it's an apology. He said he admitted the mistake. Let me read just a little bit of this letter. Earlier this week, RJ says, we announced pricing increases that broke the trust we have worked to build with you. Since originally setting our pricing structure, and most especially in recent months, a lot has changed, which is very true. The cost of the components and materials that go into building our vehicles has risen considerably. So I'm not going to read everything, but you can kind of see it on the screen as well. We also did not manage communications well. We didn't give you enough insight into what was driving these decisions. This is again in this letter. And then here's a statement. For anyone with a Rivian pre-order, as of March 1st pricing announcement, your original configured price will be honored. So basically, he's taking that price increase back for existing reservation holders before March 1st.
He's also saying, if you canceled your pre-order on or after March 1st and would like to reinstate it, we will restore your original configuration, pricing, and delivery timing.
Our team will be sending an email in the next few days.
So this is a very interesting situation, and I am glad to say that Rivian did come back and honor the pricing that they had promised their pre-order customers, which I thought was great. And this is an interesting time for Rivian because there have been a number of deliveries, but I do believe all the deliveries so far have been to employees of the company,
most of them,
trusted friends.
Yeah.
I would say most of them. I'm not sure how many have actually gone to the general public.
Well, we get emails from many other people who have reservations, and some of them are saying later this year they'll be getting their trucks.
Okay.
So we don't have every piece of information. It also affected Rivian's stock price significantly on Wednesday specifically. So this is not good news. This has been a bad week. They're trying to recover from this. And you can now go on Rivian website. You can make several configurations on the new truck, including the dual motor system, all-wheel drive still, which actually will be in 2024, which brings us to all the other manufacturers, right? Because in 2024, the Chevy Silverado EV is supposed to be on sale. The Ram Revolution 1500 EV truck is supposed to be on sale, and many others.
All right, so it's been a pretty tough week for the stock market in general because of world events.
Yeah.
Did Rivian see a plunge as a result of this situation more so than other companies?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, especially on Wednesday specifically, because on Wednesday I was tracking this. General Motors, Ford, and some others maintained their stock price, or it was higher that day. I'm talking about just one day.
Right.
And Rivian was down 13%. So that was a huge hit for them.
Now, it's going to get interesting, right? Because currently Rivian kind of has that first mover advantage in terms of getting trucks out of the door, at least perhaps on a smaller scale, but they're still, delivering trucks if primarily to employees and friends of the company. But in April, Ford announced that F-150 Lightning is going to start production. Isn't that right?
Yeah, so they have already communicated to some reservation holders and order holders. Actually, TFL Truck is an order holder for an F-150 Lightning, which is great. It's not going to be easy. It's expensive, but we're happy about this. Our order truck is supposed to be built in early May, probably in the second week of May. So hopefully in May to June timeframe, F-150s will be in customers' hands. Nice. Including hopefully TFL Trucks' hands.
Yeah, we're working on getting it early, but...
Yes. So we'll be working very, very hard. As you always know, we want to be first. So they announced a couple of other items this week. They've been testing in Alaska. This is one of their prototypes, testing at negative 30 degrees. So they're continuing the testing. Their production builds, technically are supposed to start in April, but I heard that they're not going to be starting sale in April.
Okay.
It's going to come a little bit later, maybe in May.
Gotcha.
But this is what they've promised, spring 2022. And they're sticking to their schedule.
Now, we also have Hummers, right, that are starting to hit customer hands?
We think so. Here's an image that one of our viewers sent to us. This is, I think, a middle school somewhere in Michigan, and they saw a Hummer EV dropping off a kid at school. So it could have been a pre-production vehicle.
It could have been an engineer.
It could be actually, there's a 9 on the back window.
Oh,
so maybe it's an engineer vehicle dropping their kid at school, which is really cool.
But we have seen some pictures online of Hummers at dealers, right?
Being delivered.
Delivered, yeah. So they're also starting to trickle out now as well. So it's really heating up in terms of the actualization of the electric pickup truck race. But what about another startup, Andre? What about Lordstown? What's going on with them?
Well, one more comment on the Hummer. I would say they're a little bit slow. I mean, they delivered one truck in December.
Right.
Technically, I believe they delivered a dozen trucks maybe in January, the first month of the year. That's not enough, dude.
No, it's a slow trickle.
It's a slow trickle. So I just wanted to make that clear that, the Hummers are not there in big numbers. And we haven't, Roman has driven a prototype, but we haven't driven one yet.
Are you going to drive one soon?
I hope so. At the end of March, We're going to be at an event for Hummer, driving the Hummer, so stay tuned for that. There's also another company you may remember, Lordstown, right? Like you were saying. They also had some issues this week.
Okay.
Some problems. So there was a SEC. They made a statement, and some of the information. This is one of our viewers and reservation holders for Lordstown, Larry, sent this to me. So they increased their price for the Lordstown base truck from $55,000 to $63,500.
Okay.
Also a significant increase in price. They have, there is some new information on the curb weight. Right now it's about 6,300 pounds, which makes sense because batteries are heavy and motors are heavy, right? And then their payload numbers seem to go down. Their efficiency seemed to go down from 75 mpge to 65 mpge. Their power was listed now at 550, not 600 like it was before. And range is now 218 miles. And they're not on sale yet.
Although they are claiming higher torque. But for the most part, it seems like it's going to be more expensive and less capable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, so once again, it's really hard to launch a company that builds trucks.
Yep.
This is Lordstown website. We haven't driven any prototypes. We haven't been invited to any events from Lordstown. They haven't delivered any truck to a customer.
Right.
And they're saying now 2023 is their first model year. So bad news there.
All right, guys. Well, that is the tough news and some interesting news out of the EV truck race this week.
Yeah, and just as we wrap up, I just wanted to mention that the next couple of years are going to be huge. Like we said, Chevy Silverado EV Ram Revolution is coming.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what they're calling their battery electric truck. They're promising delivery dates or at least releases of this truck in 2024. So these next couple years, a year and a half to 2 years, are going to be very important.
Very important. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, head over to TFLtruck.com for the latest and greatest in Rivian, Ford, GM, Lordstown, Ram, any news.
Hummer,
all of it.
Thank you very much.